All right, guys, we got the moon out today with Sean Duffy. This is part of that Beast of the Sea showing, and that real world for the Israel world for the Israel ID, and those things that's going to be going on as a dividing point in this nation comes, and the beast men get those music notes and the frequency of the techno. We can't do it. That's the mark of the beast. We've been programmed by our cult leaders that we can't do these things. We don't have the dragon inside of us. The dragon's out there and it's scaring us. So that's basically kind of what's going on in a nutshell, or nuts hell, that we're all living in, who's all been dropped in this world, and we're all living in some twilight zone, okay? And since we're at the twilight hour with the horizon line, where you can actually see the sun, because normally when the sun is in the sky at full heat, you can't look at it very well. All right, and the things that I've told you in the past are starting to line up, and they've been breaking open at some breakneck speeds, and that necklace is coming in the sky in February as far as the planet's alignment and such. And these are tying into getting into the new heaven and the new earth, or being left out in the cold and the old age and the old heaven and earth and those types of things, where that Christ session in the right hand and that foot of the bear to right to bear arms, and Jesus, the Jesus, is put on the cross. The Cain and Abel rises up as Cain, the Can, and the Abel is Abel, and the flesh versus the spirit, the Cain versus the Abel, rises up in our nation, and the Can kills the Abel, and that's the spirit of our nation, who's built on immigration, and we are a refugee nation, and we are rejecting what we are, and all these things through the projection, the image that's given life, and these different things that are stacked in our reality. And right now we live in a merge of all these times, and this is why you can go on the social media and you can see basically cavemen in a way eating raw meat that's fermented, and you can see vegans, and you can see people swimming in frozen waters and whatever. It's like they've never read the rule book that we grew up being programmed, okay? So there's a whole nother program out there that's coming, and this old program, American Nazism, is going to be gathered up, where there's that perfect race. And when that Purple Party starts to show its colors and such for the next election, in the 48 to the 48, and different things lay out, and we have the Israel, the MTV showing with the Sean Duffy and the Duff beer for the Springfield, for that Homer, that home run, for that pastime, the TikTok 119, the 9/11, 45, 47, Lord God, Psalm 84:11, and Revelation 9:11, a bad dawn, is all risen before you, and he has the keys to the pit, and Biden has the keys to the pit. So all these pits are being gathered up around you, and the new solar system is coming, the Mercury project, the Mars, the Venus, all these things to set up, and you're either going to go into the new or the old. And the necklace this month is where you kind of get stuck behind, because the neck connects you to the higher energy or heaven, and y'all are going to be stuck in lower hell. And you got to get through the solar plexus and the inhale, exhale, the light inside, to access the higher realms. But right now, you're so-called in your heaven, you're going to be cast down to the hell, the lower earth, the day one, or world 111, shish boom ba, rah rah rah, Israel. That's the Isis Ra-El, the Egyptian god, and the Egyptian god is going to come and gyp you and steal all your money, or steal your nation, and all these different things in one way, shape, or form. And that's when your temple inside is broken and shattered, and the shat is near with the crap shark. So, and that Star Trek, the Star T-Rex, as the X-Files are open. All right, X-Files has 11 seasons. Those 11 seasons are right now. 11 comes from the 47 election for the twin 9/11, the Gemini Trump. Okay, so y'all better get ready. The new song, that rap for the rapture, I'm spouting it off right now. All right, and the church that's left in the delusion, the candlestick of the Laodicea, the Laodicea is controlling you. Those types of things, and they come in and propagandize you with World War movies and cowboy movies where everybody thinks that cowboys wear cowboy hats. Huh, that's a full-blown Hollywood creation, people. So y'all they're donkeys. And what's the other word for a donkey? So that secret secretary of the transportation, transformational times, the time travel where America's taken back into your little Cuba time frames. The little Cuba is part of that little cute little foot of the bear too, and little baby lions and baby oxes and eagles. But I guess the cub is actually the lion. But you understand, we're all getting these little baby bursts with the man-child as the serpent, the semen, the Navy, and we just got those lasers being shown that has unstoppable power. So this is kind of like that 1,000-foot wave maybe replay on a tidal wave experience to wash out the whole effing nation. All right, and that flow right over, where that wave just comes right over that pancake island or peninsula or whatever it is. All right, so I know what it is, guys, but we're just free flowing here on the currencies, bringing up some past. The Biden, Hollywood, CAA, the 311. This is kind of where you had the CIA, the government coming in, taking over the government, or giving movie plots and all these things back in the day, right? So this is where you have like the Israel that you watch, to the Israel that you live, to the Israel, the Egyptian god, all these things merging together, all right? And everything that's secret is going to come out to the light and be exposed and those types of things. So as all these things play a role, the oh man, I'm getting as oh shit, I'm gonna have to, I gotta go back and listen to what I was talking about, because I went deep off into the old expositions there. Either way. All right, the Israels and the CIA. So as Ronald Reagan came in, we had Kennedy taken out. This is where Ronald Reagan, the actor and such, and we can even see Kennedy, the so-called actor, being involved with Marilyn Monroe and those Hollywood ties and such. So this is the ties tying in one time frame to another time frame to get us from one to the other, the loose ends. So from Kennedy, and then we got the RFK now for the Mercury project. So this is where you have like one sun, the JFK, and then you have the RFK here, and then he's tan, so he's reflecting two types of light, and he's going into like a third day, which is that tri-day, the trident in hand for the Poseidon under the water, and he's going down to the deep, and he's getting whatever. But we've been tracking these things spiritually. Now this is where it's starting to turn carnal, and the waters are turning icy, and that Slurpee's setting, the either way, not to get in those rabbit trails, but Reagan, the Hollywood takeover on one side for the Israel, the whatever, for the Adolf. It even goes back to Adolf Hitler, because that's where you see the World War II movies and all these things working together, and it's overlaying things, okay? And they're being taught, you're being taught Hitler this on one side, and there's actually another story to Hitler on another side, and either way, folks. So we're seeing a merge of this, and this is where Biden is joining Hollywood, and where X is doing this, the YouTube channel or TV network thing like YouTube or Netflix or whatever has, where you can stream it. So it's all working together to bringing it into this one little point of light. And then Trump, he went into Hollywood. There's the Playboy Club, all these nightclubs, these big nightclubs that come and go during certain times. Those can all be part of the machine gathering evidence and those types of things. But Studio 54, that would be that her, the House of Usher, all right, and the ushers before you. So y'all get ready. The divide is before you. The planet Hollywood, that holy dragon is before you. That is can and is not. But that dragon's landing, and as the dragon lands, it sets off that semen for that red October. And October has a flip-floppies, depending Roman calendar or Gregorian calendar, or spring or summer, or the south north hemis or whatever. The hemis and the Dodgers. So the LA Dodgers, the La Vida Loca, and Latino violence, all that stuff's lining up. And the big bangs with the LV that went back to the boys back in high school. Either way, we got Hillary, or Doge is coming in, locking the people out of the government. This is that exalting as God, the Doge, the e-God. So that Elon, that grass is being laid out for the new Sodom. And as it's laid out for the new Sodom, the people that are eating the old grass, they're not going to like the new grass. It's going to be bitter, all right? Bit-tier. And that bit-tier is tied to your Bitcoin and all those other things. Because that's just a holding device for all the new alt currencies and the alternator for that incarnation of Christ for these stacks of times. And the incarnation of Christ is coming up as the Ice Age comes up, and there's going to be that civil war per se as Cain and Abel go to war, and the Cain is the white man who can, and then the immigrant is the Abel who is able to do it. So different things are stacking up, and the Jesus is on the cross, and everybody's on the Don's backs, and they're all being dropped off in different wild areas, and they don't know where they've been dropped off at, in a matter of speaking. So everything's going as it should, folks. So even if y'all wanted to catch up, you kind of can't, because my personal output, if you go back 15-minute increments, for the most part, there's probably about 300 hours total. So it's going to take like a year every night watching 2-hour movies of my face just to catch up, to know what's going on. So, but either way, y'all have fun out there, because the dawn of time is before you, and the dawn of a new age. And everybody's hearing that TikTok. They can't hear, they can't focus, and they're telling you it's a communist app. The government's going to come in and buy it. All these stacks of things where it's bringing in that communist age on one front and separating on another. But either way, the community, all these things that you live in, community, communist, everything is some sort of communism. It's just good and bad. Very good. There's good communism and bad communism. Good socialism, bad communism. We're in a bad democracy. Y'all still want democracy, but you're in a bad democracy. Okay? Dumb, mock, crazy. And that's what y'all are doing, because you don't understand all the crazy talk. Because it's a crazy world that you live in.